today I'm going to show you what we're going to be using for our next project, what I'm going to be using, things I'm going to be using, things you don't have to use if you don't want to, but things I'm going to be using, and maybe some alternatives to the things I'm going to be using. And also we're going to do a little bit of prep work for the next project because it is December and we're running out of time, and I wanted to make this quick little Christmas album. My name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. Okay, so we're going to make a Christmas album. So let's start with me telling you which templates we're going to be using and go from there. I will also put timestamps down below, or chapters, because apparently you can see chapters now. Like here, down at this line right here. I don't know if you can even see it with that whatever device you're watching. But so if you wanted to jump around, you totally can. But okay, we're going to be doing the Basically Amazing Decorative Edge Charming and the foundation. But I also wanted to point out once again that if you wanted to, I don't have it sitting right here in front of me. If you wanted to use the graceful edge instead of the charming, it corresponds exactly. So if I use page 17B in the charming, 17B in the graceful will be the same, except it will be the graceful edge and not the charming. But we're going to start with the charming, only because that's what I use to make this album. So you're going to need the Basically Amazing foundations and the Basically Amazing charming. If you're using charming, I'm going to be using the letters background, which is, do I have it right here? I have it somewhere. Here, right here. I'm going to be using this background design. I will link everything down below as best I can. And I will have links to like Amazon. I have a special Amazon list just for this project. And I'll link to other online store stuff as well. We're going to be using the Basically Amazing foundations. And we're going to be using the Basically Amazing charming. And also, this is optional. We're going to be using the new Basically Amazing Scrap Journal add-on because I'm going to be using the papers in here, the digital papers. And if you don't want to use the digital papers, you could use your own personal vintage papers, or you could just use coffee stain paper, or you could just use colored cardstock. Or if you don't want to use these papers, which they look like this, but the one I think I'm going to use the most is the one that's got my mom's handwriting on it, the pink and green. But there's different choices in the add-on scrap journal. But if you didn't want to, if you didn't want to buy the scrap journal, you can also use the neutral, the Vintage Collage Neutral. That would probably be a good alternative to if you didn't have any like vintage papers and things. So I'm trying to use things that we already have been using. So if you didn't want to get the scrap journal add-on, you could use the neutral background. So we've been using that a lot. Oh, by the way, right now there is a 20% off coupon code active in my shop. And I am going to be using a lot of printables. You don't have to use any of them if you don't want to, but I'm going to be using a lot of printables. But there's a 20% off everything in my shop, so if you haven't got it already, you may want to get it now. And I will have that coupon code down below. It's only good until December 10th, 2020, depending on when you're watching this. But anyway, so I'm going to be using elements from the Scrap Journal add-on. So also, I'm going to be using the papers, but I'm also going to be using like the labels, and I'm going to be using the matchbook pockets. You'll have to excuse the way I sound. I'm having a bit of an allergy thing, I think. So we're going to be using that. And then, of course, I'm going to be using the add-on photo mats. You don't have to use these if you don't want to, but I am going to be using these. These are Basically Amazing add-on photo mats. And I will have these listed down below as well. And we're also going to be using the mini album ornament papers. So these are the papers that are included in the mini album ornament. This is in my Etsy shop. I have a whole video how I put this together. I will link this up here and down below if you want to check that out. So this is from last year. I released this last year. So anyway, it comes with some pink and green distress striped background papers. And it turns out they go perfectly with this collection. I'll talk about that in just a second. And then I also printed them onto some parchment paper. And I love that. I love that. I love the way that looks. So there's pink on, this is like ivory parchment paper, and this is on white. This is, I think, 32-pound paper. Right, so I might be using a combination of both, or parchment. So if you didn't want to use like coffee stain paper, you can use the parchment paper as well. And I have that linked in my Amazon. So we're going to be using these, or I'm going to be using these. And then, let's move that. And then I think the last printable in my shop is the Shades of Color. You don't have to use these. You could use solid colored cardstock if you want. But this is what the Etsy listing looks like. We use these a lot, so it's not like, you know, they're not new. We use them all the time. But I'm going to be using several of the colors. And since this is a pink and green collection, again, I'm going to be using, I think it's 10 and 11. 10 and 11, those are the pinks, and then 22 and 23 are the greens. And then this is what they look like on parchment. Look, it totally just warms it up, doesn't it? So there's the pink. There's one of the pinks, and there's the other pink, and then there's the green. And these might actually go better on the parchment, or you could also print them onto coffee stain paper if you like. So we're going to be using those as well. So that's all I think that's all the, oh, no, one more. I just lied. There's one more thing I'm going to be using, and that is the black and white backgrounds. So, like on the cover of this album here, I don't know if you can see the foiled music notes there. That's my music notes from the black and white background set number 6. Those are always available in my Etsy shop, so they're available now. All this is linked down below. And then I foiled it, so we're going to be doing some of that, of course. Of course. You don't have to, but that's what I'm going to be doing. You can just leave it black. If you didn't want to do the foiling, you can just leave it black, and it would still be pretty, because this was printed onto like coffee stain paper. You can print it onto ivory parchment paper as well. Right? Okay. So that's all. I know that's a lot. Again, you don't have to use all of those things, but that's what I'm going to be using. They're like, they're almost like staples in our stash. You know, we're using our stash because we use this stuff all the time, so we might as well keep using it as often as we can. So again, we're going to be making this Christmas album, and I have a detailed flip through of this album, and I will put it up here in the cards and down below in the description box. Wait a minute, I think you might be a little crooked. We're not going to make it exactly like this. I'm going to simplify it just a little bit so that we can get it done in the next couple weeks. That's my goal, right? But if you wanted to check out the detailed flip through of this, you feel free to do that. Okay, so paper collection. This is the paper collection. This is the Sugar Cookie by Prima, and it's designed by Frank Garcia. And it's got 6 different double-sided, so there's like 12 designs, but there's 4 of each, right? So, I love this one. I love this one. I love both sides of that one. I love this one. I love this one. There's 2 that I don't care for too much, and that would be this one. I don't really care for the realism of the cookie itself. I don't know if you can really see it that well on the monitor. I can't hardly see, but this is a cut apart sheet. So there's a bunch of cut apart, so it's 4 sheets of that. And then this is like a collage cut apart sheet, but I'm not sure if I used any of that. I may have used some of it. The back of it is that wood grain, the pink and green white wood grain. So there's the paper collection. So this is the 12 by 12. And I have the Amazon list is named Sugar Cookie, Sugar Cookie, basically amazing. Oh, so what I like to do, this is a little bit of prep, right? I like to go through, oops, I don't typically like to do that, but I like to tear out 2 of each page because I like to go through and use one of each before, you know, use all of one, if that makes sense. And it's easier for me to flip through if they're loose. Okay, so I'm going to tear one or two of each page out, basically just for the front and the back, even though I know I'm not going to use that. That side, I don't think I do anyway. Okay, so while I'm doing this, let's talk about a giveaway, because I had not intended on making this on camera, but timing, the way timing, oh man, I keep doing that. The way it is with the timing. I'll always buy extra collections because I give them away. I stopped giving them away. Once I hit 50,000 subscribers, I was giving away paper collections, but with the state of the world, with the COVID-19 and all of that, and the shipping issues and the cost of shipping, and so we put a hold on that for now. And once everything gets going back to normal, I will start doing those giveaways again. But anyway, so I would always buy an extra collection. Well, since I'm going to be using a lot of the extra collection that I bought now in this video series, I thought I would do a giveaway for what's left. So I ended up actually having, whoops, did I not tear two of these out? Or do I have 5 of these? Oh, look at there, I got 5 of these. Oh, no, wait. Yeah. Huh. I got an extra sheet. Sweet. What was I saying? Oh, giveaway. So, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not going to be using because I have narrowed it down to just a few things. And then I have an actual whole extra paper pad. So I thought what I would do is I would do a giveaway, and I'll show you really quick. Let me finish doing this and I'll show you. I would do a giveaway, maybe 2 or 3 winners. By the end of this project, at the end of this project, I will give away what's left, and like there'll be like, there's probably a good amount of unused things. I'll show you. It just makes more sense if I show you. So just real quickly. Okay. Okay, I grabbed the, I have these pouches here linked in my Amazon, but I think Scrapbook.com has some that are similar, so I will link them as well. But they're just to hold 12 by 12s. Keep them nice and neat and tidy. But this is my box of sugar cookie stuff. So this is what's left over from my prototype. But then I have all of this stuff. Like, this is stuff I don't think we're using at all. I mean, I got the whole collection. You know, I don't know. Anyway, so, and all of this here, this is practically a whole collection, except missing a few things like the charms and whatnot. But so I thought this could be a winner. And then maybe this could be a winner. And this can be a winner, maybe. So we'll do 3 winners. But whatever's left over from my project, I will include into one of these. Does that make sense? Okay. So I have all this extra stuff. So I thought we would do that. So all you have to do on the videos for this project, starting with this video, just leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up on the video, and make sure you're a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber. Just hit that subscribe button and turn that bell notifications on. Yeah, so I thought we could do that. And then at the end of the project, I'll do a video where I pick 3 winners from one of the random videos. Okay, so that was the paper. And then here's the other stuff I'm going to be using. Plus, I am going to be using the mold. The put paper clay in here. I mean, I only used it on the cover, so I used a Santa, a snowman, and a set of skates on the cover. I don't think I used it anywhere else inside. Doesn't mean you can't, but These are great because you can continually make more and more embellishments year after year. They're not going to go, you're not going to use it up. You just have to get more paper clay. That's what I use, is paper clay. So I've got that. That's optional. And then this is one of the flowers. This is the spray. So we're all going to do something like that, something similar on the cover. So there's that flower. And then there's these flowers. This one is 648541. This is just like a multi-pack. And then these are just I didn't use these in a prototype, but they're flat and they make, I should have. I just didn't have them out, I guess. So those are the only flowers we're going to be using. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and put these in here. Oh, I've got myself so tickled about that go ahead. So I'm just going to go ahead from that video. I love it. I love it. Okay. Alright. So this is just one of the crafty trays from my crafty companion that we made. Alright, so there's all my flowers. I'm just going to leave the packages in there for now. And then we got 2 ephemera packs, which I will be using. I didn't use all of it. There was quite a bit left over, but I did end up using quite a bit. I did a lot of fussy cutting out of the paper collection with the prototype. So yeah. So I usually just like to dump these out, and what I'll probably do is go through and sort them out and separate them into 2 different trays. And maybe not, but I like to take ones that have words and stuff like that and put them in a different tray. Come on, little hearts. Right? So I'll probably do that. So there'll probably end up being 2 trays of embellishments. And then these obviously are optional as well. The Say It in crystals and the charms. These are the only ones I really used. These are the little like star looking ones. I used 3 of them in the prototype, but they're super cute. So again, optional. And the Say It in crystals are also optional. So yeah. Anyway, so I've got those ready to go. Wait a minute, I don't think that's how I do it. I usually take it off of the paper. There we go. And then I'm not going to open that because we don't use them on the regular. They're just like, they're used for like, you know, little dangly bits here and there. And then the journaling cards, I usually tear off one of each thing. I don't know which ones I've used and not used, so I'm not going to go through and double check right now, but I will. I will before we start recording. I will do that. So that's the journaling. So those are optional too because there are 2 cut apart sheets in the collection. So, okay. So that's all of the paper collection, I believe, that we're going to be using. That's it. I am going to be using walnut stain, distress oxide, and distress oxide speckled egg. That's one of the new ones. I've got that link down below. And then for the add-on photo mats, I use the black soot distress oxide. You don't have to, but that's what I use. Let's see, what else? Oh, Tyvek. We will be using some Tyvek. And I have like a whole roll of it, but you can get sheets of it. And I've linked the sheets, I think I've linked the sheets in my Amazon, but you can also use envelopes and things like that, depending on what you have. I have envelopes too. But I don't have them linked, I don't think. But anyway, so you just need a material that is not, that you can't tear. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take it and cover the whole backside of this with tape. So that way we're ready to go, okay? So I have the full sheets of clear double-sided adhesive. I'll have these linked down below too. I even use these on my covers. Very convenient. Or you could just use the 6-inch roll if you have that. Whatever you have. So I'm gonna take it, and I just cut this down to be a little bit bigger than the 8.5 by 11. So I'm gonna remove the backing. Keep your backing, as we can use that in our ephemera journals. So I'm just going to take this, and since I know this piece is larger than the tape, I'm not going to be super duper worried about being perfectly straight. Right? Okay. Finish that down. Alright, let's go ahead and trim it down too while we're at it. I am going to trim one edge straight and make sure this edge is straight. Whoops. Okay, and then we want it to be shorter than our binding and our pages, because we're actually going to be using it on both. I had changed my mind. I decided that the tie back needs to be both in the binding and in the top page, because we're going to be doing the stitch binding, and of course I already put that up. But if you want to learn real quick how to do the accordion stitch binding, I will put it up here in the cards and down below. I did a video just for that. So I think I'm going to cut it down to... I think I'm going to cut it down to 9.5. No. Yeah, why not? 9.5. And then I'm just going to square off this edge, because you don't have to, the height is what's important. Then you can cut strips off as you go. Okay. So I've got this ready to go. Oh. I did do some hole reinforcements. I did the speckled egg. Let's see, how did I do it? I did a little bit of walnut stain first, and then I did the speckled egg over top. These are stuck together, so it kind of looks like this. Before, without doing the walnut stain first, oh, those were both sprayed. It looks like that. So there's the difference. I don't know how well you can actually see that. But this is without walnut stain, and this is with walnut stain. Yeah, there we go. So this is too bright for this collection, and this is perfect. So I went ahead and prepped some of those. I got some like that, and then I got 2 sheets where, whoops. Where I used the glue stick trick. It's not the glue stick trick. I put glue stick all over after I inked them, and then I pressed the foil onto them. And the foil that we're going to be using, once again, is the Mink. This one is rose gold. That's what I've been using. So I got some of those ready to go, and all of that's linked in my Amazon. That might be it. I'm going to be using like baker's twine, and I'm going to be doing the crochet thread for the binding. Well, that's all I can really think of right now. But there's a more detailed list. The Amazon list is more detailed. It's got the paper trimmer. Well, it doesn't have the paper trimmer yet. I need to add that kind of stuff. But it's got the paper I'm using. It's got the cardstock I'm using, all of that. So if you want to check that Amazon list out, I'll have it linked down below. But okay, that's all I can think of at the moment. Magnets, we're going to be using magnets. I've got those linked down below. And again, I think we're crooked. Magnets and the magnet savers. I do have some linked in Amazon, and I have some linked at, I have like a whole chunk of places that you can get magnets, different resources, and like them. You can get like the magnets, and you can get the, shoot, what are they called? The magnet savers. But then, why are those, what's going on here? There must be a magnet in there somewhere. There is. The tin roof, what are these called? The, oh shoot. They're for roofing, but they're steel. I don't know. Anyway, those are linked in my Amazon. Just good magnet savers. They're good magnet savers. And then there's other places where you can get good magnet savers as well. I've got all that linked down below. That's all I can think of right now, you guys. I'm just double checking. As far as paper collection, I've got the magnets, the hoe reinforcements. I'm going to be doing some of the, I killed my make machine. I don't know if you remember me saying something a while back when I was doing the flip through this about how something got stuck in my Mink machine. I guess I turned my back to it for a minute. I don't know what happened. Something got stuck, and every time I go to use it, it starts smoking really bad, and yeah, I killed it. It's dead. So I ordered another one, and it should be in soon. But otherwise, we would have done some prep work where I would have printed off several of these and went ahead and did some of the foiling on there so that they were ready to go. What else? Alright, well, all the information you need to know is down in the description box. There, the coupon code information, if you're watching this within the right time frame, is down there. 20% off everything in my Etsy shop. All links to videos, all links to products, all links to Amazon, all of that down below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment so you're entered into win the giveaway. And be sure to turn on your notifications to this channel. I think you have to do a drop-down menu, and you have to turn on your notifications. That way, when we go, we're going to go rather quickly, hopefully. In the next couple weeks to finish this before Christmas, because everybody's going to be busy, and I have simplified it a lot. I think I've tried to simplify it a lot, so you don't want to miss any of the videos. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. I will see you next time. Bye.